Hello, I'm Caede, your guide. Today we are here in Kanazawa, a town on the Sea of Japan coast. With the opening of the Hokuriku Shinkansen line to Kanazawa in 2015, you can now reach Kanazawa from Tokyo on just one Shinkansen, right? It seems like the station building has been given a makeover to coincide with the opening of the new Shinkansen line. But in fact, the station building had already been renovated 10 years before the Shinkansen opened. Ishikawa Prefecture, where Kanazawa is located, has the most annual rainy days in Japan. So if it's sunny today, you are in luck. They built such a big dome to keep tourists arriving in Kanazawa out of the rain for as long as possible. And then there is this Tsuzumimon, the drum gate. The pillar is decorated with a drum that is used in No, the traditional performing art of Kanazawa. This beautiful station was chosen as one of the 14 most beautiful stations in the world by an American magazine called Travel and Leisure. Amazing! After taking pictures of the beautiful train station, let's first head to Kanazawa's most famous tourist spot, the Kenrokuen Garden. It's only 3 kilometers away and it takes 10 minutes by bus, but you can also walk there. The Kenrokuen was originally created in 1676 by the feudal lord of the Maeda family as a place to entertain guests and retainers. The laws of the clan have gradually modified the garden, and today it is a very large Japanese garden covering 11.7 hectares and is one of the 3 largest gardens in Japan, along with the Korakuen in Okayama and the Kairakuen in Mito. When you think of a Japanese garden, you may imagine a stone garden or a garden viewed from a temple, right? The Kenrokuen Garden is a Kaiyu-shiki garden where visitors can enjoy walking around ponds and hills called mountains within the garden and take a little break at the tea house. It is nice to have a cup of tea while admiring a garden, isn't it? Let's get started. Enter at the main entrance called Katsurazaka-guchi and walk clockwise. Get a map of the garden at the entrance and let's go! The name Kenrokuen translates as Ken for combination, Roku for 6 elements, and En for garden. And together it means a garden that has 6 outstanding landscapes that a famous garden should have. The 6 sceneries are Kodai, immensity, Yusui, tranquility, Jinryoku, human-powered, Soko, ancient, Suisen, freshness, Chobo, view. Please look for these elements as you tour. The first thing that comes into view is the Kasumigaike Pond. It is the largest pond in the park and has Horai-jima and Kotoji lanterns. Visitors can enjoy the seasonal scenery as they walk around the pond. What you see here is one of the 6 elements, the water fountain. Located by the Kasumigaike Pond, the Kotoji lantern has become a symbol of the Kenrokuen Garden and Kanazawa. The picture of this lantern is also used on manholes in Kanazawa. In Japan, famous attractions of a place are often depicted on manholes. So, It might be interesting to keep an eye out for them during your trip. Let me return to the story of the two-legged Kotoji lantern. The name Kotoji Todo comes from the similarity of the shape of these legs to koto bashira, which supports the strings of the koto, a Japanese musical instrument, and controls the sound of the instrument. When the lantern was made, the legs were of the same length, but at some point, one of the legs broke off, and the broken leg is now balanced on a stone. It is famous for being in a photo with a rainbow bridge in the foreground. I wonder if this lantern is one of the 6 elements so-called ancient. The hill on the left side of the Kasumigaike pond is a viewing platform. On a fine day, you can see the mountains, the city of Kanazawa, and the plain from here. This is definitely one of the 6 elements, the one of the view. To the east of the Kasumigaike pond is a pine tree with the best branches in the Kenrokuen called Karasaki Matsu. In winter, you can see yukitsuri, meaning snow hanging, in which a rope is tied around the pine tree to prevent snow from falling directly on it and breaking its branches. It is merely a snow protection, but it is beautiful. On the north side of the Kasumigaike pond is the Sazae Mountain. It is a mountain made of soil from the expansion of the Kasumigaike pond. It was so named because the path up the mountain is winding, reminding one of the Sazae turban shell. It is an artificial mountain, so this is the element manpower of the 6 elements. Let's walk from here to the fountain. There are a lot of people around the Kasumigaike pond, but it's quieter when you get a little farther away. I guess this place is a bit secluded, another one of the 6 elements. This fountain, you can imagine that it was considered a gorgeous fountain, right? It's a bit of a simple fountain, but by golly, it's the oldest fountain in Japan. Kenrokuen is a very large garden with many attractions, but today we focus on its main attraction, the Kasumigaike pond. The size of the pond is also one of the 6 elements, the elements of vastness. Although the Kenrokuen garden has been created by generations of feudal lords, the philosophy behind its creation has remained consistent. The large pond was made to resemble an ocean, and within it, an island was created where immortal lived. Perhaps the feudal lords put their wishes for longevity and family prosperity into the garden. What kind of family was the Maeda family that could create such a magnificent garden? Let's now return to the Katsurazakaguchi and cross the bridge together to Kanazawa Castle. Kanazawa Castle is a castle of the Maeda family, a family of feudal lords that lasted from the 17th to the 19th century. This Maeda family was said to be the second most powerful feudal family after the Shogun Tokugawa family. The Maeda family ruled what are now the Ishikawa and Toyama prefectures. Since the castle belonged to such an important family, you would think Kanazawa Castle would be a magnificent castle with a big castle tower, right? Actually, they built a keep once, but it burned down in a fire about 20 years later and was never rebuilt after that. Since the Maeda family was an important family of feudal lords, the Tokugawa family was wary of them, so they didn't dare to build another keep. The Maeda family was also just struggling to survive. Kanazawa Castle has since been destroyed by fire several times, and the old buildings are gone. So most of the buildings that exist today were rebuilt, and reconstruction work is still ongoing. The reconstructed buildings are nice, but Kanazawa Castle has especially magnificent stone walls. It is said that the way the stones are piled and the design of the entrance and exit and the garden may have varied depending on the location. The first entrance, the Ishikawa-mon Gate, is located at the Kenrokuen Garden. The stones on the left and right sides of the gate are piled differently. Can you see the difference? If you have time, please take a walk around the castle and pay special attention to the stone walls. Today, several buildings have been reconstructed, including the Gojuken Nagaya, which was used as a warehouse for weapons and other items, and Hishiyagura, which guarded the entrance to the castle. There's a fee to go inside some of the buildings, but it is also nice just to stroll around the garden. Both the Kenrokuen Garden and the Kanazawa Castle Park are large, so take your time and enjoy a leisurely stroll.